Hi, my name is Grace Speroni, and welcome back to Conversations with the ERC5. Today, I am thrilled to have with me John and Will Maybury from Maybury Material Handling. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you both here with us. How lucky am I?
Well, thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here.
Delighted. Thank you. So I was really excited, got on your website, and I was just looking, and I saw that you started this business in 1976, and wow, look at where you are now, the tremendous growth that you have experienced. Tell us a little bit about the early beginnings when you started the company, John.
So the earliest beginnings were no fax machines, no email, pay phones if you went from one place to another to make phone calls or sales calls, and really just worked with companies like American Bosch, Moore-Drop Forge, American Saw,
wow.
A lot of businesses that are no longer really the same as they used to be. But back in the 70s, a lot of people needed benches, stools, cabinets, a lot of manual labor. So that's basically how the business started.
Wow.
Just supplying that kind of product.
A lot of boots on the ground.
Exactly.
Wow, and now look at you.
Yeah.
Will, tell us a little bit about where we're at now.
Sure. So, like John said, in 1976, he started with the material handling side, and we've pivoted with the industry. So we supply anything for a manufacturing, distribution, or warehouse facility. So that includes the rack, the shelving, the conveyor, the implant office, and things like that. But in the 80s, we picked up Crown lift trucks as a distributor for Crown lift trucks, which are forklifts. And so we now provide that product to our customers. And fast forward to the 90s, we then got into the cleaning equipment business. So again, our mission is to be the one source provider for any manufacturing, distribution, or warehouse facility.
Wow, that's a lot to take on. Well, because I started looking at things, and then you look at all of this that is here. So that's quite the job, because you also have, you know, you hear about OSHA, and there's all these laws and things to protect everybody that go with all of this.
Right.
How do you manage all of that? This seems like quite the large industry.
So beyond my wildest dreams when the business started would we be where we're at. But I think it's just with great people surrounding us. We now have over 100 employees. So, you know, each person has a specific expertise, if you will, and we've grown the business to have that expertise. And so we can provide, you know, much of the equipment that any of your online distribution facilities actually need. We help them for efficiency and productivity to get the job done. I mean, I'm assuming you and others are familiar with buying from the online stores and having, you know, the packages show up. The products that we provide actually make that possible.
Always shop local.
Yeah.
It sounds like an easy way out to shop on the internet, but it's always great when you can shop local, and when you can shop someone such as yourself that started this business here in the area in 1976 and has grown it to the extent that you have, and yet you still stay true to your roots. You're here, you're growing here. You do have other facilities.
Yes, we have one in Wallingford, Connecticut, and actually in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And on that grow local kind of thing, I mean, the bottom line is we are an economic engine for the region, because a lot of our customers are from far abroad, you know, the United States. We've done jobs in Maryland and Los Angeles and Chicago and elsewhere, and a lot of the big box applications that we work in, you know, that money comes from far and beyond and comes back to East Long Meadow.
Yes.
That we recirculate through our local suppliers and payroll, obviously. And there's quite a few local people that actually sell with the bigger retailers. So even though, you know, the big boxes may be a controversial thing, the bottom line is I know several local companies that actually sell to the bigger ones. In fact, I think Steve Graham actually sells to some of them.
To the bigger.
Through those processes, you know, local ends up winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of wonderful businesses like yours, like Steve Graham's, where you continue to invest in the community.
Exactly.
And you stay here. So we are so grateful for that. You keep the dollars here. You're providing local folks with jobs and careers, and you've got a strong team, and that certainly, I bet you there's a lot of longevity with the folks on your team. So thank you for all that you do in that respect.
We just had a retirement party at luncheon today for an employee, 36 years.
Really?
Yeah, started 36
Wow,
years ago.
that is fantastic.
Will can tell you about some of the exciting things we do that aren't necessarily work-related.
Okay, I'd love to hear about those.
Yeah, so again, I think one of our biggest focal points, being that local organization in the region, is how we impact our employees, their families, and the community that we live in. And so we do a lot of community outreach in regards to, one of the exciting ones coming up is our car shows in the summertime. And so we have those events that raise funds for a local charity, like Rays of Hope and some others. And so we really look forward to the volunteer work that we're able to do, the platform that we have to kind of keep that money circulating in our community, and for those great organizations. Being a part of the July 4th parade and a couple other events make it really, really fun for us to continue to be involved.
Well, I know I've seen your trucks at the parade. My grandsons love that. It's the highlight of the parade for them. And since joining the chamber, it's always so exciting when you see a chamber member out there. It's like, yes, they're part of the chamber. That's so exciting. But you also, like, I'll see your trucks at the National Night Out or the car shows, as you mentioned.
The tree lighting at the center.
Yes.
We decorated our trucks.
Yeah. That was just such a highlight. Again, the kids loved it.
Right.
But so did our senior. Everybody loved it. It's great to see the families converge on the center of town, and there come your trucks. And that's something that you're doing out of your generosity and your spirit for giving back to the community. So we thank you for that.
Yeah. We try and show philanthropy. We try and make sure we're setting an example. And, I think we end up, in a pretty good place, with the employees understanding that, we're all in this together to support the local, neighborhoods that we live in. So.
And now it's a second generation?
Yeah, and my mother and father actually did work with me in the 80s.
Okay.
So my mom and dad were involved.
So this is a third.
Will's mom and my wife actually still work together today. So we're a not so small family business now, but we're really trying to keep it, a family business, keep the values and the culture of a family business, albeit a little more difficult right now, huh?
So how do you address the challenges? Because we've had some challenges in the last few years, and I'm sure that caused moments where you had to pause and rethink how you deliver your business and how you move forward. How do you pivot and adapt in times like what we've experienced?
Sure. I mean, our biggest attribute to our success is the people that we have within our organization. And so if we stay true to our values and focus on the employees that we have, focus on them and their families, then we'll get through whatever storm, we're trying to get through. And by doing that, again, staying true, we're there to help grow our employees both personally and professionally in whatever way that we can. And they know that and they believe that because that's why I get up and go to work every day. And so maintaining the culture that's been built and transforming it, culture is a living and breathing thing.
It's everything, right?
In an organization, and so it's constantly adapting. So being able to add to our culture, not just fit people into it, but add to it, definitely brings the diversity to our organization and will allow us to continue to be successful.
Well, and I'm sure you inspire your employees. It sounds like you have a close-knit family there, but they get that also from you, from what they see coming from ownership. So it's like, this is a great philosophy and they must believe in it. Hence why you've got someone who's celebrating, how many years?
30,
you had said 36
yeah.
years. I mean, that speaks volumes to what you do and the philosophy at Maybury. Where do you see the company going in the future?
Sky's the limit for us in regards to where we want to go. Where I really see us getting into is assisting all of our customers with whatever solution that we can provide them. So again, our biggest advantage is being that one source provider. Like we kind of hinted at, there's a lot of different moving pieces there. So offering on-the-job training, continual improvement, different things for our associates to continue to grow. All of those things we need to continue to adapt with. Embrace the technology, use it as an accelerator to our current processes, and continue to redefine.
Sounds fantastic. That's why you have employees that have been with you for 30 plus years. It's great philosophy.
It's an amazing growth story that, I would not have predicted, but I'm very, very happy to have been a part of, and very extremely pleased to have, Will going to carry that on and grow it and build it into more and more for our customers, actually, and our employees.
Continue the family legacy.
Yes.
For everyone. Yep. You've got a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
But I think you're going to be fantastic.
Yes.
And I've got a little bit of weight on my shoulders today because I learned that you were one of like the original east of the East Long Meadow Chamber, not the east of the river, but back when it was the East Long Meadow Chamber. You were instrumental in that.
I actually started with the East Long Meadow JCs, which was the Junior Chamber of Commerce, which I was president of in, believe it or not, 1981. I'm really not that old, but in 1981.
You're just a go-getter.
Yeah, and then a little later in the 80s, I became the president of the East Long Meadow Chamber of Commerce, which is the
current ERC5.
ERC5, because it went from East Long Meadow Chamber of Commerce to the Long Meadow Chamber of Commerce, and then became East of the River, or ERC5.
Wow.
So I've been involved since the 80s for sure. I'm on the Economic Development Council of Western Mass. I'm on West Mass Development Corp., and I'm still active with Bay State Health. So
yeah, you're very involved in the area, in all communities.
Will and the employees to carry on without me being there every day. I think it's a value to them that I'm not there every day, so that they can experience firsthand what they need to do and make those decisions. It's important for growth.
Mm-hmm. But the spirit is there.
It's there.
So it's guiding them every step of the way.
It's absolutely there.
Well, we are so fortunate to have both of you here with us today. I really appreciate that. If our viewers want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
So our webpage is pretty extensive, shows a lot of the things we do. It's maybury.com. So in 1996, I was able to grab MAYBURY, which is our name.com.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Well, thank you both for joining us. This has been a pleasure. And after our podcast, you can let me know how the ERC5 is doing and give me some pointers, okay?
I think you guys are doing great, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Will. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you to our viewers. And if you'd like more information on the ERC5 or to catch some of our previous podcasts, you can do so at ERC5.com. Thank you for joining us today.